with San Antonio when they, the Denny Greens and what's my kid's name from Australia? Patty Mills, Boris Diaw was shooting the 3-ball well in their championship game. So it spiked again. And then, of course, 2015 now, 30% when the league average was 25% this year. The Golden State Warriors shot the ball 31% of the time from three. And then there's another chart, and I'm not going to bore you guys because I'll move on here, but the second chart shows what the three-point percentage is during the playoffs. And it goes up for everybody. The league throughout from about 85 all the way to now. It goes up to right around 30, 35% in the playoffs. Jesus Christ. The Spurs last year and the Warriors this year shot 40% of their threes. I'm sorry, 3-point percentage. I'm sorry, this is the 3-point percentage, not the percentage of threes that they took as a team. This is 3-point percentage. Yeah, the percentages are around, the 30. They spike with the Chicago teams, 97 and 98, and spike again at the end here. All right, moving right along. Let's get out of this NBA stuff because we got to move on to some other things. Major League Baseball. You got some NFL things you want to get to real quick. Apparently, I'm gonna skip this. I'm gonna skip this Allen Iverson thing, this Danny Ferry thing, before I do not get to it again today. So, okay, if you guys remember last summer, one of the owners of the Hawks, self-reported that he had made some racist comments before, and then later on, Danny Ferry got caught on tape. I don't know if they've been put into the category of racist comments. Maybe more so culturally insensitive, maybe the more apropos way to phrase it, that he said Luol Deng had a little bit too much African in him. He's like one of those guys who had the good gear out front and then the bootleg gear in the back. I'm paraphrasing, but you get my point. And he got busted on it, right? And this is like right in the shadows of the not Adam Silver, not him, sorry. What the hell is this dude's name, man? Donald Sterling. I'm sorry, Donald Sterling stuff with the Clippers last year. So it's like a hot button thing. So in the remnants of that, Danny Ferry was put on leave indefinitely, which ended up being the whole season. And it all came to a head yesterday, where the new ownership group is supposed to. The Hawks were bought, by the way, if you haven't been taking notes or whatever. If you haven't been following the Atlanta Hawks, they were bought a couple months ago. The deal is supposed to be finalized by the league by next Wednesday, and the new ownership group will take over. But before that, they're cleaning up all the dirty laundry. One in case of in this case, we're talking Danny Ferry. They negotiated a buyout yesterday, and it was completed today. Sorry, not prepared. Didn't pull up the article yet. And what was so what was weird to me is that the people of Atlanta, people here, and maybe because because like I said, it wasn't like one of those all out, like he wasn't dropping N-word and all that. He said he got a little bit too much African in him for me, or whatever he said. So maybe that allows him a little bit more leeway with the people here in Atlanta. Not sure. This is one of those times as a show you throw this out and you like, give us a call at blah 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 blah, and then people start calling and you kind of get the temperature of why, well, about that percentage of why. The other percentage of why I'm very, very aware of. The fact that the team won, and he is the guy who he was the architect of the team, the guy who put the pieces in place. Got rid of some of the pieces that were bad, brought in some pieces that were good, put it all together, said, Coach Budenholzer, here is the recipe and the ingredients. Make us a good meal. And he did, to the tune of, 60 wins this year for the Atlanta Hawks. Franchise record. So I understand that part of it. But, and maybe that's the whole part. Coop, you tell me. You're co-hosting today. If Danny Ferry had this team, because everyone felt like, it was going to be a process anyway. People felt like this team would have to go, like last year they were the 7th seed. Maybe the team would be a 5th seed this year, and then so forth and so on. But it kind of just was like, it was like a 20-minute birth. You know what I mean? The chick goes into labor, and all of a sudden, wow, there's a baby here. It was really nothing in between. Same thing with this Hawks team. It's like you turn around and, wow, they went a whole month without losing the ball game. Wait, what? They're the number 1 seed in the conference? 2nd seed in the entire playoffs? What the hell's happening? Yeah, it happened very quickly. And I'm gonna jump out here on this very strong limb and say, yeah, I kind of believe in my heart of hearts that that's why, people like Andy Young. I heard a story I didn't hear a story. I heard Andy Young tell a story about him going down to the University of Georgia to march. And this is the true gets. And when he went down there, they got attacked by some white folks down there. Andy Young got hit so hard, and I swear this to you, this is the truth. This is the truth that he tells, that he didn't know that he had gotten his ass whooped until like 40 years later or something like that, 30 years later, when someone found the footage at University of Georgia and showed him. That's what you call an ass whooping. You understand? Like, that dude was like, yeah, I'm getting mad all over again. I'm getting mad like it's the first time because he got hit. Like, we hear about these one-hitter quitters. Yeah. Bang. Like, the whole memory of the event left his body. And then he saw it, like, like I said, 30-something years later, and was like, what the hell? Like, he's mad at this dude today about it because he couldn't get mad then because he didn't know what the hell happened to him. But anyway, Andy Young was another guy who was like, nah, all is forgiven, and even Luol Deng was like, whatever. I know Danny. He's cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, he said what he said, but yeah, I don't take no offense to it. Plus, if you know the stuff that them Sudan boys, Luol Deng them went through, yeah, last thing on his mind is somebody, somebody saying he's a little bit too African. Yeah, he's a lot African, as a matter of fact. He's a whole lot African. I think the second part of the statement is the thing that kind of put the nail in old Danny's coffin. According to Chris Villamore, of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, a buyout of Danny Ferry's contract with the Atlanta Hawks was reached and approved Friday by the team's board of managers. According to two people with knowledge of the negotiations, it will end the tenure of the general manager after he spent the past season on indefinite leave of absence following racially insensitive remarks he made last year. I think that's I don't even think it's racially insensitive. He was talking about Africans. Like, Africans aren't just one race, by the way. It's more cultural, So in the aftermath, Mike Budenholzer, like I say, this is how it works. White people lose by winning and win by losing. His homeboy loses. Dude that hired him loses. He wins. He will now obviously get a bump in pay because I think he's completed the last year, or he's going into the last year of a 3-year deal that he signed when he came on board here in Atlanta, which started out, if you guys don't know, for wherever you're listening from, you don't know, it started out kind of rocky for old Mike Bud. Yeah, he had a couple too many buds the first night here in Atlanta, and the city can do that to you. Yeah, Yeah, certain establishments, look it up, it's boobs everywhere, it's ass everywhere, and next thing you know, the cops are everywhere, telling you to blow on something and walk a straight line. Yeah, it's happened to many a guy. Guy's better than Mike Budenholzer, as a matter of fact. But he bounced back from it because, of course, that's what, like, a little something like that ain't holding white folks down. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is real talk. It's not happening like that at all. That one dude from the Braves, remember? The pitcher. Remember? He was drag racing. That dude walked out of jail on some, and next thing you know, they, I think the camera malfunctioned or something like that. Yeah, he went home scot-free. Yeah, never a day in my life. No. Never happened that way. But anyway, so he'll be assuming the role of head basketball. Well, excuse me. He's already the head coach. He'll be the head of basketball operations, but he'll have the title of team president. I like that better anyway. Yeah, it's much simple. President, Mr. President, than, head of basketball operations. Yeah, I'm with it. He'll be one of 5 guys, as a matter of fact, that has that title. And because I'm going to do this off memory, I don't feel like looking for the article. It's his predecessor, or his not predecessor, his mentor Popovich, Flip Saunders up in Minnesota. There's Doc Rivers, Van Gundy in Detroit, and it'll be Budenholzer. Those 5 guys will have that. Look at me. Oh, that's Rob, man, so I can brag about this. Damn it. That's off the dome, cuz. Like, jigger. As well, Assistant General Manager Wes Wilcox will be elevated to the position of General Manager. President Bud. His campaign slogan, actually, Coop just said President Bud. His campaign flyer have like a keg on it, a Budweiser keg on it. Dude, like some broy dude with like, the cut off khakis and the thong flip flops with the pink polo shirt and the damn collar popped and the sunglasses on backwards, on the back of his head. That's like, yeah. See, I told you I went to a white school. I know all about the broiness that happens. I already talked about the new ownership taking. I guess the deal being finalized actually on the 24th. Here's something that was crazy. Here's something that's crazy. R.J. Hunter, Ron Jr., Hunter Jr. I don't know how that makes sense. That still doesn't make R.J. Hunter. I think his name should just be R.J. Just R.J. Because if you say R.J. Hunter, the J stands for Junior. So it'd be Ron Jr., Hunter Jr. That's weird. Anyway, guy who had a nice showing at the NCAA tournament, plays over at Georgia State. He declined to work out for the Atlanta Hawks. And I can see that. Like, come on, man. I play right down the street. Nobody came saw me play. You know what I mean? Nobody took the trip, a 10-minute trip around the corner to holler at your boy and see me play. I don't need to work out for y'all. If you take me, you take me. But if you don't, you had your chance. Whatever. Anybody see the Steve Ballmer's, these new Clipper uniforms or whatever? I'm not here to talk about the uniforms because it's whatever. I understand it's capital. It's more money. This dude spent $2 billion on the team. And you start getting some of it back. And the way you do that, new merchandise. Yeah, Hawks did it. Same deal. New ownership, you get some new merchandise. Let the money start flowing in now, especially when you got a team that's all right. But yeah, I think the Shark is gonna get jumped on this this dude quickly. Yeah, because this dude is on commercials. Like, he's way, way out front for a team that ain't really doing nothing. You know what I mean? For all the pity that people tried to have on for this team when they went through the Donald Sterling thing. But which, by the way, before I go to break, yeah, that's a flame that's gonna keep burning too. Like, okay, Doc Rivers apparently is blaming what's going on with the Clippers on Donald Sterling. Yeah, the man who's not here to defend himself. He says, quote, he's talking to the Beast on 980 Sports Talk. He says, quote, this is really only my 3rd year, but you can make the case this is our 2nd year if you know what I'm saying. If I someday wrote a book and told you a couple of the trades we had in the 1st year that we didn't do because of other reasons, you would fall on your chair, end quote. Yeah. Come on, Doc. Let me tell you this real quick. We got 2 minutes. Do you realize your team went on a 4-game losing streak at the worst time? Or, a 3-game losing streak at the worst possible time in your season? Donald Sterling ain't had nothing to do with that collapse. This is the same team that everybody was talking about finally took that step. They finally knocked off the big brother, the San Antonio Spurs. Now this team, the sky's the limit now. Yeah, but it wasn't. So the Chris Paul narrative started. The Doc Rivers narrative started. Like, hold on, you were supposed to be better than Vinny, but you're not. You haven't been. So the easy thing to do, the easy target, let's blame it on the old racist. Which, by the way, I'm gonna continue to say this: no one declined to cash their checks, because you know why? That racist money it's been just the same. And like, well, when Doc is talking about these trades too, like, it's guys like JJ Redick and Donald Sterling. It's been documented. He said, I don't want to pay that much for a white bench player. Whatever. So yeah, Rob talked about it yesterday. Equal opportunity races. We'll give it a pass. Whatever. It's Sports Kings Live on Big Mike. Rob Calloway out tonight, getting slizzed